I'm Dana and you're watching the Primer channel. It's okay, I hate myself too, I couldn't resist. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my must-have or favorite primers. I have an obscene obsession with primers. I don't know what it is. Whenever I watch videos and people are like, oh, I don't like primers, they're dumb, or I don't think I need a primer, I'm just like, who are you? But seriously, I just love primers. I think it's because I also really love skincare. I love anything hydrating, moisturizing, and I have more like normal to dry skin. So I feel like priming is just essential for the rest of my makeup to feel okay on my face. If I just go like raw dog and just, that was so gross. If I just slap foundation on my face with no like barrier, it just doesn't feel the same. My face ends up like eating the foundation in a weird way, like foundation will disappear on the bottom portion of my face, or it just settles into my pores, my fine lines. I love anything that gives me luminosity, additional dewiness, glowiness. Clearly, I'm here for the glow. Basically, I just love anything that's gonna give me a fresh face look. Even on days where I skip makeup, like that I don't wear foundation, I still wear a primer. I honestly feel like it's just like embedded into my skincare routine now. It's just something that I have to have. So if any of y'all are like me and you're fellow primer junkies, this video is for you. So I thought I would just go through it, and instead of like sitting here showing like one primer at a time and being like, this is why I like it, I'm still gonna do that. But I thought it'd be fun to take you over to my primer drawer just so you can kind of see everything else that's in there. And I'm really just gonna spotlight the ones that I use the most often. Don't get me wrong, I do use all the primers in that drawer, maybe just not quite as often as I use some of the spotlight ones. And there's different days and times and situations that I need skintuation. Yeah, there's different skintuations for whenever I need a certain primer. So I just wanted to go through and just kind of share some of my favorite smoothing ones, hydrating ones, mattifying ones. I don't use mattifying ones too often, but there's a time and a place, and I'll share that. So let's go ahead and move on over to my primer drawer. Honestly, this is one of my favorite drawers of my makeup collection. I just freaking love primers. So instead of going in like a numerical ranking system, I thought it'd be easiest just to go from like oils to glowy products to mattifying, smoothing, all that way, instead of just being like meh and going all over, because I think that'd be confusing for the both of us. So starting off with oils, I have two favorites. The Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. Especially if you have some drier patches, I love this because it really just soaks into the skin. It adds an additional like glowy glisten under the foundation. I love that it has like an easy control applicator with this dropper, just so I can go in and really just add like 1 or 2 drops into my foundation, especially if I'm wearing a foundation that is heavier on my skin. Oh great, I just got that all over the side of the bottle. For instance, something like Estee Lauder Double Wear, while I like the coverage of that, sometimes it can be too much. So a product like this does a great job of really kind of thinning it out and just allowing it to look a little bit more natural on my face. A great drugstore option, Flower Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. Now, I know you can see shimmers in the actual packaging, but you can't feel those on your face. As you like blend it into your skin, it kind of just like breaks down into a very fine micro shimmer that looks beautiful under your foundation. Now, if you've tried the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil and you liked the way that it like hydrated your skin, but you felt like it was too greasy or oily, this base isn't quite as slick as the primer oil. Okay, now moving on to more of my glowy products. Number 1 in this category would definitely be the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have mine in 2 light. I do want to pick up the shade Deeper. I love wearing this underneath my foundation, mixed in with my foundation, on top of my foundation. Honestly, I kind of use it more as like a liquid highlighter than a primer, but it does still work great as just creating like an illuminated base underneath. Now, neither of these, or I guess any of these that I've mentioned so far, they don't do any sort of like smoothing to the skin. There's no actual blurring effect, but the light that this gives your face, the way that it illuminates, I do feel like it somehow kind of like distracts you from wrinkles and pores. Another favorite glowy primer is this one from Burberry. This is the Fresh Glow Luminous Fluid Base. It just has this it's almost like a lighter version, the Becca liquid highlighter in Opal. It's like she settled down, got married, had some kids, has her life together, isn't quite as a party animal as the Shimmering Skin Perfector. Aha, there's a name. In Opal. That's a great one. If you're looking for a drugstore alternative, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotions, these are beautiful as well, especially this one in deep bronze. If you're someone who self-tans a lot and you find that your neck doesn't quite match, like your neck and your face don't quite match your chest, this is a great product to go in and just create a nice bronzy base all over. Okay, now moving on to other kind of glowy primers, but ones that aren't quite as shimmery as these. These provide more of a natural glow. This is a Korean brand called 𝗟𝗘𝗧. It's the Air Rising Dazzling Base. I actually have two like holy grail status Korean primers in here. This is definitely one of them. This gives your skin this beautiful, just micronized pearl glow. I find any primer that has this kind of like violet sheen to it, those really help to kind of awaken your skin, especially if you're someone like myself who just has sometimes like pukey yellow, like sallow undertones. This just brightens up your face and makes you look a lot more awake. This is a type of primer that I would use even on no makeup days. I really like this one. The other Korean brand is VDL. This is the Lumi Layer Primer. This is supposed to have like prismatic pearls in it. Whenever it hits your skin, it's another primer that gives you that violet soft focus. This, if you've ever used like a Korean skincare system and there's an emulsion in there, this has the texture of that. Something about it does help to really blur out pores. Once again, you have that really pearly violet cast to it. This I like to mix with foundations as well. In fact, one of my ultimate favorite foundations to wear with this primer is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation or the Giorgio Armani foundation. Oh, and recently I've been using the Laura Mercier Lumiere primer or foundation with this as well. That is such a beautiful combo. I absolutely love it. Okay, now if you're just a basic B and you're looking for, not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're just looking for a basic hydrating, moisturizing foundation, you don't need all these bells and whistles, you don't need anything that's like giving you additional glow, you just want to hydrate and plump the skin, either of these are awesome. First up, we have the Laura Mercier primer in Hydrating. She has one in Mattifying, Radiance, which I also have and love if you're just looking for another product to kind of like balance out the tanner that's going on in your skin and add some bronze. This one is beautiful in the summer. But just for a basic everyday hydrating primer, this one is nice. It has a very moisturizing, almost like gel-like texture. It just soaks right into your skin. Even if you have oily skin, this would be a great primer because you're not left with any sort of like heavy, greasy residue that just lies on top of the skin. I really like to apply this all over my under eyes as well. I don't have any issues with it like burning or anything like that. The other one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is the primer and moisturizer. This has hyaluronic acid in it. I believe the full size is $30, maybe even $40, but the trick is you can get the half sizes of these. Something about it ends up being less. I did the math before. I want to say the mini sizes are like $15, so you could get two that would create the size of a full size for less than the retail price of the full size. Does that make sense? This is a very nice milky moisturizing texture. This is another one that just soaks right into your skin, but it still allows your face to feel moisturized with whatever foundation that you apply on top. This is like, I think, a great just basic starter primer. Like I said though, if you're gonna get it, I would definitely recommend getting the mini $15 size. Now moving on to smoothing or blurring primers. My go-to is this. This is the Tarte, I always forget the name, Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. The trick to this primer though is less is more. If you go in with a pile of this because you have large pores and you try to rub it all in, it's gonna end up pilling and your face is gonna look worse. Whenever I apply this, I only concentrate this primer on areas where I'm wanting to conceal pores. I won't use this all over my face. And when I use it, I will use about this much. You really only need the tiniest bit. Sometimes I'll even use this on my under eyes after I go in with a hydrating primer because I find that it can really help just blur out any smooth lines. I have enlarged pores on the sides of my nose as well as this really weird like pore that never healed from this massive blackhead that I attacked between my brows. I'll go in and use this and it smooths it right out. I know lots of people who have like piercing scars will also use this because it just really blurs and smooths everything right out. So if you have like old acne scars or really textured skin, that's a great one to try. Another good smoothing primer is this one from Makeup Forever. This is just their smoothing primer. They have a mattifying one, a hydrating one. There's several different ones. As you can see though, this one is another one that's a bit thick. I do feel that I can be a little bit more generous with this one versus the Tarte one. I don't really ever experience any pilling with this. Something about this is smoothing without being overly dry. All right, so back here I have some mattifying primers. Now, the favorite one that I've tried so far out of all of these is from Too Faced. This is the Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. The only time that I use this though is in the summer, and I only use it on my T-zone. If I apply it anywhere else, then I feel like I lose all glowiness that I may have wanted. If you're really, really oily, like you feel like your makeup just sloughs off all day long, slips and slides all over your face, this would be a good one. This is definitely mattifying. It does have this really nice cooling effect. While it's mattifying, I also find that it does help to really smooth out any pores, wrinkles. So my forehead and my nose is the only area that I use this primer. Okay, we're getting down to the very end. Actually, when I look at these, I think that may be, oh, this is another one though. This should have been included with the 𝗟𝗦𝗖𝗜𝗓 Hydrating as well as the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is just another basic hydrating primer. It just somehow feels like it awakens my face. It brings the moisture back in. This is another one that sometimes I will actually mix in. I'm just doing a CC cream, like the It Cosmetics CC cream, and I've already primed, but I just want additional moisture to it. Sometimes I'll just add a pump of this in because it's a primer that's pretty basic, so I feel like it doesn't really disrupt the formula that I have going on or that I'm about to apply to my face. Like I said, I do still use pretty much all these primers. There's just a specific situation for each of these primers. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that peek into my primer drawer. If you guys have any recommendations, because I mean, obviously I need more primers, feel free to drop those down below. I would love to hear about your favorites. Also, if you haven't already, I would love if you took the time to subscribe if you enjoyed this one. That way we can hang out more in the future. Let me know if you guys would like to see more videos like this. And I think that's it for this one. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.